Everyone, it's Denise with Wondubar Crafts. Alright, so today I want to sew in signatures and put the spine together. So I've been kind of putting some things together all day. Had a bunch of other stuff, so it's later. It's not it's evening, but it's not like late evening. You know what I mean? So what I've done is I've already cut some pieces out for my spine. I'm going to do a I'm not going to attach it to the outside. I'm going to do it the inside. I've done these before. I've got videos on them, but I like the way that typically the book sets when it's like that show, or how the journal sits. So what I've done is I've cut two pieces that are 8.5 long by 2 inches, because that's how thick I want my spine. I do only have 3 signatures, and what I've done is I've already put my little lace on it and sewed around the pages that I wanted done. That way that is done, and I can go ahead and sew in there, sew these into the spine portion, and then fill them. So the reason why I made it 2 was so that I could put some stuff in there. And then I've already done the backing part of the spine, so this is kind of what we're going with, a little bit of fuzzy and some different texture and a little bit of lacy and sparkly and fuzzy and all that stuff. So what I did was I took a piece of avocado dyed muslin, and I marked it 2 inches, and then just sewed some strips within that part, because this piece is going to get glued to this. And then I'm going to leave this purpley pink piece here out, so that you know, if you look down the spine, because I'm going to do a hollow spine, so then that way I know. And I've marked this top. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. So let me get that done, and then we'll sew in some signatures. Let's see, glue. I need fiber tack. Woohoo! So, yeah, sorry, my Ubers are, I don't know what's been going on with them today. It's like total eclipse of the moon or something. I don't know. They're just being really weird. I don't know. I think because my neighbor's dog made friends with some stray dog. Well, I don't think it's stray. We thought it was stray when we first moved in, and we haven't seen this dog in like almost a year. And then we see it again today. And it's got a collar on, so it obviously belongs to someone else. So I don't know. Let's see if we can get this on here. Pull this down. Ooh. Because if you've ever done any sewing, you know, sometimes when you do a zigzag, it puckers it a little bit, and it can, you know, pull it off just a little hair, but that's okay. We got it all covered. Yay! Alright, so I'm going to set this aside, let it dry, while I go ahead and sew in the signature. So I have another piece here, and this piece, once we sew this, I want this to be on the inside so that you see the purple here. This, yes, I mean, you could flip it like this, but this is going to get covered with another piece of muslin, which I will attach here, and then this will get glued on the inside of the to reinforce the the signatures, okay? And I'll probably cut that down a little bit. So essentially, if you haven't seen this, I do have other videos on it, but we're going to take this spine and we're going to glue this to here on the inside like that, so that when you open and close, it's not, it's part of, you know, one journal piece, but it's just that instead of it being on the outside like that, it's on the inside. That's all. So that's what we're going to do with that. And then I have my book cradle here, and we'll glue this after we get these on. So I got my book cradle from Amy at Crafty Cat. Thank you, Amy. She does sell these on her website. I ordered this. It's been a while. Had it, I know, over a year. So, but it is extremely handy how she's made it here with this little niche in here where you stick your signature in there, and it helps with the pokey tool. So I've already pre-marked. Instead of doing a 3-hole, I'm going to do a 5. I'll show you guys how to do that. What I've done is I've got 3 signatures, so I marked it in the middle and then just took from the middle here and marked it again in the middle, and then from here to here marked it in the middle. And then I marked in the center of it going long ways here, and then I just measured from here to here, which was I think 4 1/4, and then I just took a calculator and said, what is that divided by 3? 4.25 by 3, and then I think it came out to like 1.4, and I went online to actually look at, it was like 1 inch and 7/16 is what I had to mark in between. So it does take a little math, but you know. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke a hole in each of these. This is where the signatures will go, right at each of these marks here. And you want to try and get them as even as possible so that your signatures will line up and they'll sit nice in the journal. Oh, that one's a little hard to see there. There we go. That one too. Hopefully I got that. Because if they're off a little bit, it can make them sit a little wonky. Or offset, so that like you have 1 up here, 2 up here, and then 1 down below, and you want to try and get them as close as possible to being even. And no, I'm not going to, you could put 1 in the middle and then bring this up and then, you know, put another one in here somewhere if you wanted. The reason why I'm sewing it up here, I don't want to put anything too low, unless it's a 3-hole stitch, only because it's distributed differently, and I think it helps with the wear. On my 5-stitch, I want to try and keep it as much as possible away from the edge, because of that. So yeah. All right, so I got holes on all of those. So I'm going to take my first signature here. Actually, I'm going to work backwards. So I'm going to take my 3rd one, and then I'm going to get a needle ready. Now, choosing a needle, you could choose a big fat one, and I would do something like that if you had a very thick, big signature to put in there. You don't want anything too small either. I mean, these are not small needles, but you don't want one too small. You know, so I typically try to choose one right in the middle. That's how I choose my side. And on this one, I am going to use some waxed, because I'm going to put 5-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm going to use some waxed thread here. But I did make a grid so that hopefully it will help you guys understand how to, because I do know some people struggle with sewing signatures, or with a 3-hole, it's fairly simple. You know, you go in from the center, you come up from one side, take it all the way to the top, and back through the center, you know, so it's pretty easy. But what do you do with 5 or 7 or 6 or whatever, you know? So, all right, what you want to do, since I've already got my signatures together, I'm going to put them in the book cradle here. And the nice thing is the book cradle holds it in place fairly well. But just to make sure that we are not going to be all off center and off keel, I'm going to take one of my clips and hold it on that side, and one of my clips and hold it on the other. It's not required to do that with this, but because I have some lace already sewn on and it's weighted a little bit, I don't want it shifting. So what I've done is taken a sheet of paper, right, the length of my book pages here. Might be just a little bit longer, but that's okay. And then I'm going to find my center here. Actually, let me cut it down so that I have 8.5 here, so that we're not. It is 8.5, correct? No, it's 8 1/4. That's why, because I cut this one 8.5. So I just need to take. Let's see. Oh, cutter's over here. Need to take just a small, an 1/8 off on each end here. So let me do that real quick. So I think that's about an 8 there. Oh, shooty doody, it's going to be like that. Okay. You want to be all like that. I'll see how it is. I mean, I could do it the length of it is and just eyeball it. You can do that. And that's fine. But I will, there you go. Just so you can see that. For me, I could eyeball it, but I'll just, you know, so that you guys know. So I cut the sheet, the size. It's not going to make a difference from here because everything was measured from the center out. All right, and then I marked this top and bottom, so that's my bottom. And then I'm going to poke holes in through with my pokey tool here. And I'm just going to poke it right through the center. You can go top to bottom, you can go bottom to top. Just kind of what I'm doing now. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now from here, I marked on here how I'm going to sew it. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, that's cool. And then I'm going to show you just what I'm talking about so that you can see it on the piece of paper versus trying to poke it through, because, you know, sometimes. All right, so D means down, U means up. Okay, so number 1, we're going to go, that's our first stitch is down. So we're going to go down from the middle. We're going to come up to number 2, and you could put these backwards because you could put it, you know, down there. So 2 is up. Okay, we're going to pull it to leave a tail so we can knot it. 3 is down. Okay. Back through here, 4 is up. Make sure you don't tangle up, you know, try not to tangle up with the thread underneath it so it sits nice. Okay, then we're going to go down to 5, down, 6 is up. You're going to do the opposite side, you know, the opposite of what you did on the upper, you're going to do on the lower, or vice versa. If you started on the lower, you'll do the opposite on the upper. Then back 6 and 7 goes down, and 8 goes up. And then make sure you go on the other side like that. And that is where you're going to knot it, okay? So it's fairly simple if you give yourself a little guideline. And then that way you can, you know. So, and the reason why I say it's opposite, it's just the opposite, because if you notice, one is down, then it goes up, up, down, right? And then down is down, down, up, and then you've got one down, one up on the center. So if you were to flip-flop it and do it the other way, right? So 2 would be down. You would just be moving this like 2 down, then it would be 3 down, then it would be 4 up, or no, 4 down, no, up, I'm sorry, 4 up, and then you would come up here and do 5 down, then 6 up, and 7 down. You understand what I'm saying? But you could screenshot that if you wanted to use that as a template, so you'll know. Let me pull that up a little bit so you guys can see, hopefully. Okay, so you can use the same piece as your template or as a reminder of what you need to do. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure this so that I have 1, 2, 3, and I typically go about half to 3/4 of the way. Where are my scissors? To give myself enough there, thread. That should be plenty to do that with. So now you can do all 3, poke your holes, but I would suggest that you poke and then you sew, then poke and then sew. Okay, so this is my last signature because I want to start backwards, so I need to make sure I come in through here. All right, and I'm going to start by going down into my signature here. And I'm going to pull it through, leave myself a tail, and then I'm going to take and poke that through that very last, because this is my top, this is my bottom, I marked it with a T, this is my 3rd signature, and this is where it needs to go. Okay. Oh, do you hear her? She's just something else, right? Oh, poor thing. And then we're going to go up through the 2nd hole. So here is our middle. I'm going to go up through our 2nd hole here. Find that 2nd hole. And we'll just work it through. Pull it kind of taut to make sure that it does move. This is waxed, so you can use normal, I would use like an upholstery thread or a thick quilting thread, and then you can wax it yourself. You know those little wax melts? I would get, you can scent them, do whatever if you like, but I already have it waxed, so. And then we're going to go to the top hole. It's our 3rd one, and we're going to go down with it. Okay. And you're going to get a little wiggle waggle, you know, while you're doing it. It's not a big deal. Just make sure you leave your clips on there so that you stay. Then we're going to come back up through the 2nd to the top hole, trying not to get wound up in that other thread here, if we can help it. If you do, just back it out and try and redo it again. Okay. And then we're going to go all the way down to the 4th hole down, which is our 5th stitch. And that hole. And then right in through there. Just make sure that whatever you see, what I did was when I measured this out, I took this piece of paper inside out and measured it up here so that all my holes all matched up, right? Okay, so we're on 5 down. We're going to go 6 up. Get it through that hole in there. I don't have my readers on, so. Oop, I don't want to go. It's always one. There's always just one hole, always. That always seems to give you the hardest time, isn't it? I mean, just you get to going and then you'll get one, just that one. Okay, come on. There we go. Just needed a little persuasion. All right, and then we come back down, back up to that second to the last hole. 7th stitch down, and then we're going to go back up through that center, which is our 8th stitch up. Make sure that it comes in off the other side. See, got plenty of thread. I can shift this if I want, but I think I'm just going to pull it tight. It's a little bit tighter, I think. All right. There we go. Get nice and tight. And then just do a double knot, double half knot. Like that. We'll leave some of the, I'll trim it here. Seems like a lot of waste. It does. You can go 3 if you want, if you think that, you know, because that's almost like one whole one. I just don't like to, I don't want to have to sit here with little tiny tweezers trying to hold it, you know what I mean? So, all right, so that signature is in. Okay, and then what I can do to keep it from flip-flopping all over is just take one of these clips and clip it kind of closed from the top and bottom, so that when I put in the next one, it's not going to get all like flippity-floppity. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? All right. So that's the first one in. Let's see if we can get, now the second one, this middle one, I did a little something different with this. I put a closure on the actual signature because I thought it's the center, and I just want to do something different. I mean, I'm not doing a, I'm doing a, you know, the hitching post on that one, so I just thought it would be cute. So that's what I did. That is what I did. Okay, so we want to make sure everything lines up in there, right? Set it in there. Let's get our little clips on the side to hold it in place. And where is our template? The template is in the, can you guys see okay? I hope I'm not pulling this too far inward. See, I got to do another marking again. I had before, I used to have like my edges marked so I knew where I was going. So, okay. So, set center. The great thing about her having this little niche in there, that little pocket down at the bottom, is that when I put my pokey tool down, boop, like this thing I used to have, you know, you only have so many spaces, and then you run out of hole, you know, you run out of space to poke it because there's so many holes in it. This, it's boom, 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 you know, and I don't think I've ever bottomed out with my pokey tools. Okay, where is that string? So let's try it a little bit shorter and see if it works. Okay, so here's one. We'll do 2, and there is 3, and we'll snip it and see where it comes up. Hopefully it's not short, because I don't want to have to pull it out, but okay. Our lace. This is our center. Make sure it's at the top. Make sure this is our top. All right. And I want to make sure that those, there we go. All right. So we're going to start once again in the center. It's our first stitch down. Okay. Make sure it goes through our lace there, our little sari silk. Going in through the middle. And we're going to leave ourselves a little tail. And up to the second to the top. That's our second stitch. And find that hole if we can. Wow. I may have to pull out my readers. Woohoo. No, that's not it right there. I think it is. There it goes, right there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab my readers real quick. Okay, let me grab my readers. They're just right here behind me. All right, maybe now I can see. Yeah, look at there. Those typically help, huh? All right, to the top hole, which is our third. I'm gonna poke that through to the top. Okay, and then back through that second to the bottom one, the one we just, you know, was just visiting. All right, now we're going to go all the way down to this one here, which is the second to the bottom. Okay, and right in through that hole. Okay, and down to the bottom. Very last hole down there. Find it in here. Oop, no, that's not the hole. We don't want to go there. There it is. Back up to that second to the last. And we're going down. And then back up through that middle. I'm trying not to tangle those threads. Okay. See, it's going up through a hole, but not back through the center. Here we go. Are we there? Are we there yet? And we got it back on the other side of that. There we go. Ooh. All right. So let's tighten it. Okay. Okay, somehow I managed to thread between another thread here. We don't want to do that. Okay. Came up right through that other thread. There we go. Alrighty. Another half knot. And then one more. A little better, I think. There we go. Just in case I might want to put a dangle on there or a charm. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys see what I did here, so in that way we can close this if we want. In the front, on the side, whatever. Alright, so we don't need to close that one. Last signature. Woohoo! Yay! And then we can start gluing all this stuff in. Woohoo! Then it's just a matter of filling all the ephemera, right? The fun part. Well, all of this is fun, but really putting all the ephemera and making everything, once you get the, like, the core of the basics of the journal done, like the core of it, like the shell of it, I guess, then filling it. That's always the fun part. Okay, so center again. Oh, I forgot to, let me do that real quick before I let this go. Let me get off kilt here. Caught myself before I got too far ahead. All right, and then 3. Make sure it's all lined up still. Yep. All right, last one, and you can always keep that, because if you have books that are, if you use kind of like the same, like I use a lot of the Reader's Digest, so I have a different template. This book cover was a little bit different, so I had to make another one, but I'll keep a hold of it in case I ever come across, you know, and I'll mark on there the size of it, so I will remember what it needs to go to. 1, 2, 3. All right, scissors. And we'll put this back in the kit. And I will list the bookbinding kit below. You can get them on Amazon. I'll list them on my affiliate links below for projects for this this video. Okay, so make sure we're doing the top. Okay, center. to the top. So, someone, yesterday I was watching TV and I got an alert on my phone, on my email. I happened to just pick it up and look, and someone had used my Best Buy card and bought themselves about $1,300 worth of stuff. I said, oh, there's that. I was in a little bit of a panic mode there when that happened, and then so I called them, and I don't know, the whole ordeal was just kind of strange, you know, because I did call the number on the back. I didn't call any number that was, in fact, they didn't even give a number on the email, which kind of told me it wasn't a scam, because they want you to use those kinds of, you know, links or whatever. So anyway, I called and I said to the lady, I said, I don't understand, because I don't keep that in my wallet, so I don't know how anybody even got a hold of that number, you know. And I went online to my Best Buy account, and the order wasn't placed through my online, so how would they use it? Because she said, well, you know, they used it on theirs probably. And I said, so wait a minute. You can use your Best Buy on somebody else's account? That doesn't make sense to me. I mean, why would you do that? If you want, she said, well, if you're going to buy something for someone, if I'm going to buy something for someone, I'm going to mail it to them through my account so that I have record of it through my orders, right? In case there was a problem with the order or shipping or something. So why would Best Buy allow that? She said, you know, and she couldn't answer, and I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe above her pay grade. I don't know. Her, you know, she's in there to just shut the card off and whatever. So I said, so I said, so should I change my password on Best Buy's website and, you know, and then this website too? And she said, no, wait till you get the new card. And I was like, what? That doesn't make sense. She said, well, you need the card. I said, I don't think I need the card at Best Buy to do that, you know. And I don't know, the whole ordeal was strange. She kept thanking me for calling in for the fraud, and I'm like, what? Okay. What? Yeah, like I'm just going to let somebody take off $1,300, right? With the $1,300, and I'm just going to say, okay, I'll pay it, no problem. I don't think so. So, but they did cancel the card, but you know, it's still, that's frustrating. I mean, I've been through this before. I've been through identity theft before, and it's stressful. And I do know this is not an unusual occurrence. It happens to everyday Joe Blows, you know, throughout the day, whatever. And it can happen. But typically with these kind of issues, it's somebody who worked for the company or had access to stuff, and I guess they think that they're just not going to get caught. I don't know. That's, I don't know. Whatever. Or, you know, you're not going to notice. And I guess most people probably wouldn't have noticed, because I put an alert on my phone or on my system, so anytime it charges anything above a penny, it will alert me, because that's a card I don't use much. So, okay, did I go through this again? Because I think I did. I did. Gosh darn it, how did I do that? Okay, so I put my needle up too. I did. Got ahead of myself. Okay, let's see. We're going to have to. Let's see. Pull that out. What side do I want to leave it on? That side, I guess. And see, don't ever put your stuff away until you know you got everything together, right? There we go. All right, not putting the needle away until we're done. Right? I just couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it tight. There we go. All right, half knot, half knot. Okay, and done. Now we can put the needle up, Denise. All right, so yeah, I guess whoever it was lives in Texas. I didn't get a name or anything, but I just, you know, I don't get it. I mean, how do you think you're going to get away with that? I mean, I guess if I don't have an alert, I probably wouldn't have known until I got a statement or the statement was due, and by then, I don't know if can you claim it against it, but by then they probably would have already gotten the item and, you know, whatever. So maybe that's what they were hoping for. I don't know. I don't understand why. I mean, I get it. It's Christmas time, but if you don't have the money to buy somebody something, don't buy it. You know, most people will, there it goes. Okay. All right. So then what I need to do is glue this, but I need to mark it so that we set it in the center. So I'm going to half that in half. And find a pencil. And my ruler. Mark it 1 inch that way, 1 inch that way. But I couldn't figure out. I was talking to the girl on the phone, and I'm like, man, it sounds like. I said to her, I said, are you? I'm sorry, are you sitting by a window or something? Because it sounded like it was like a tornado out there. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm at home. I'm sitting by the window. I was like, okay. Because it was loud, that wind. She must have been someplace warm, because I don't keep my windows open this time of year. It's too cold. All right, we're done with the book cradle. And then, let's see. We've got space, yeah. Glue, Fabri-Tac, definitely for this project. So, what I'm going to do, I think the easiest way is to put it on the back side here. And then just, and I'm going to put it all the way to the edge, just very close, because a lot of this is going to, some of it's going to ooze out. But I do want to put some on that string. Ooh, that's strong, Denise. Woohoo! Okay, so then we're going to put it on our line day. All right. There we go. Okay. And yes, it is a little shorter because I don't want this to hang out from the outside of the journal. You know what I mean? So I'll show you here in a minute. And then, as you can see, when you get like in between, you'll see this pinky purple in here. And by having it a little bigger, that gives me enough room to be able to have it expand a little bit if I want. So, okay. I think we're just going to loosely tie that. Okay. All right. So now, before we can glue that, we need to glue this together on that spine. So you can leave a little gusset, about a 1/4 inch if you want. I am going to leave just a small fraction. That's probably not even going to be because let me show you why. When this goes in here, well, I might actually want to do, yeah, I think I will do a 1/4 inch gusset. So, all right, so let's see. It's about a 1/4 inch there and there. So let me take my little pencil here and mark 1/4 inch on either end of here. 1/4 there. 1/4 there. This way. Oh, let's do it around this way. I've got a little room for when this, for the spine to come back with the signatures. So, okay, make sure my sides are up. Okay, I want that on the top. I tried to round it a little bit. I can't find my little paper towel roll thing, and my other paper towel roll in the house is not. Okay, now that's not right because that's got to go on this side. This has got to go on this side because this is where my. Glad I noticed that. Oh boy, that would have been a fun thing to have to try and fix. Not. Because see, this is where my rubber band's going to go. So this is the outside of the journal, not the inside. Okay, so. All right, where's my edge on that one? Okay, what I'm trying to do is just so that I know where to glue to. Okay. Now, I'm going to move a chair so that I kind of get up a little closer and shorter and look at what I'm doing here. All right. And this is going to mean, it really just is going to allow a difference in how it's not just the usual spine look, you know. I have seen, and I've mentioned this before in other videos, that a lot of the books we've seen in Japan have this type where the book cover is on the outside and then the spine, you know, is like looser. It's not attached on the outside. I don't know. It looks like it may reinforce it a little better, but then again, you know, the physics of it, I don't know. So, okay. Maybe my scissors. And I'm just going to cut just a little bit here because we don't need that portion sticking out at all. I'm okay if the bottom part sticks down a little bit. I'm okay with that. But okay, so that will give me a little bit of a gusset there for, you know, mobility, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Let me go ahead and glue this one little piece right here. Okay. Okay, yep. So I sent my daughter and my niece both those little cozies that they're like, I love them. Oh my God, these are awesome. They are a lot of fun. Okay, so then we've got that there. Let's see, that's going to go on that side. So, okay, make sure that's on the outer portion. Where is my 1/4 inch? I don't know. I keep waiting. I'm hoping that this, one of the shows that I really enjoyed on Hulu was, and it was on Hulu for a while, and then I bought it to Amazon, was Taboo. I don't know if you guys ever watched any of that. That and the harlot show, that was pretty funny. It was comical to say the least. But anyway, so I can't wait because they're supposed to come out with another season, and I'm like, well, come on, let's get to it. Yeah. Gosh, it feels really good to finally get another journal done. But the next one I'm going to work on, I'm going to start building up some, we're going to do, I would like to do, and I'm hoping that maybe some of you will follow along, you know, some of you. We're going to do some basic blocks, block building for quilting to kind of, you know, strengthen some of that block building stuff, and then take those blocks and make like a small wall hanging with it. And then, but what I want to do is so that, you know, some of you can follow along, we're going to do, you know, I'll do like a short video just to kind of show you what you need to get or what supplies you'll need. You know, because you want fabric. Doesn't have to be the same fabric as I get or I have. But I thought you definitely want a pattern for it. So I have a quilting program I bought so that you can build quilting instructions and build quilts and stuff like that with it. So I'll do something along those lines. You guys want, I mean, it's not that difficult, really. It's not. We'll do some basic stuff to start with. So if you've never quilted and you want to learn, this is where, you know, you can come and we'll do some easier projects, and we'll move to something, and I'll be sure to, you know, on the video to let you guys know if it's intermediate or if it's, you know, more advanced, what level it's at. So, okay. So that, you know, but the whole purpose is to go from basic to you know, intermediate to an advanced level. And you shouldn't fear doing, you know, you have to try. Trust me, I've bombed on a couple of different things, and there are certain ones like doing Y seams that are, I don't know. Oh, and if you guys have not and you're curious to know, so tomorrow, this should air Monday. So tomorrow, if you register, and I'm going to leave the link below, it's free to register. There's no, you know, just sign up. Just use the link to sign up. It's free. And they have like a little live thing for an hour. And they talk about like the different AccuQuilt dyes and stuff. And Eleanor Burns, which she's the lady that wrote those books, the Quilting Day books, the ones that I gave away. She wrote those books, and she's an amazing quilter. She's been around the block. She likes simplicity, and all her instructions are very, very simple. So come and check her out. You know, it's an hour. It is, I think, from like noon to 1 o'clock. Or might be from 1 to 2, but I'll put the information below in the information. You can just click the link to sign up to go watch. It's an hour. If you sign, and they give away prizes too during there. So, you know, if you sign up, if you register and then check in, and, you know, there's a live chat, you can turn it on or not be on, but they'll have prizes in there. So, and I think they're going to give away some Baltic, Baltic, I think I say that wrong, or Baltic fabrics, and those are the ones that are pretty like a tone on tone, and they almost look like a tie-dye. Here, I'm gonna show you what they look like. They're like a batik, B-A-T-I-K, batik or something, but they're like almost like they're tie-dyed, you know what I mean? And they'll have like all kinds of different patterns, tone on tone, sometimes different, you know. I love these. These are, because the great thing is when you buy these kind of things, a lot of times they're not what you get on one bolt. You might have the bolt next to it is the same color scheme, but they're not the same pattern. I love that. You know what I mean? Because it gives it gives like such a different, so not everything is the same. So if you bought the same bundle as me, it's going to be the same colors, but not the same, always the same pattern. So, okay. So this is on. Now we should be able to, and I'm putting, like I said, a hollow back, so that we're going to put this on top here. Okay. In here, and I want it there. Okay. So by doing it this way, it just allows, you know, so that you have that hollow backing. This piece supports the signatures. It is attached to the book cover, but the weight is distributed so that the cover doesn't take all of the weight. Do you see what I'm saying? And then, of course, the cover, the spine back there holds the plates, the covers, you know, the two book plates, or the two book journal covers, front and back. Okay. All right. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, I am going to try. I've signed up for it. I have an appointment that day at noon, and I want to try and go, and I'm hoping I can kind of sneak in and kind of watch a little bit, but I got an appointment with my accountant on to start to give her a bunch of the stuff for taxes and stuff. Ugh. Normally I do my own, but I just buying a new house and doing all that stuff. I don't know. I'll just have her do them. I just think it's going to be easier that way. Much easier. Hope you guys can see. I am sorry if I can't. I tried to move some of this stuff, and I may just have to suck it up and deal with it, but I got to figure out, because my cord for this camera is shorter than the cord for the other camera, because it's further away than the computer. But I may have to just buy a longer, another longer cord so that I can set it down on the other side of the table, because like I said, I feel like I'm going to go bunk, bunk, bunk all the time. So that drives me nuts. Okay, I think that's on there. Right, let's go. There we go. And then, of course, our tip-in page, which are those pages that we, cover the end of our, inside of our journal cover with, and we tip to the edge of these pages. We'll cover all of this up. So it will not look that rough. But, you see the process. I just love watching the process of how, things are made and stuff. Do you guys ever watch that? I think the Food Channel, I think, used to have one, or how things are made. Like, they go in and they show you how, like, candy bars or donuts or bread or, certain other things are made. And I find that fascinating sometimes. Other times just kind of like, ew, that's how that made. Okay, don't know if I want to eat that again. Yeah. Okay, so hollow backed. See, hollow down all the way down through the center. All the way down. And the great thing about that is this sits. It can sit pushed back. It can sit forward. I like that it sits just like this, so that all my little fuzzies are right here at the end. It gives a lot more flexibility with the book. Okay. Of course, once the tip-in pages are put in, it'll be a little more, even more sturdy. I don't know. I like it. I like these kind of spines. Don't get me wrong, I do like putting them over the top too. Those are nice too, especially if you have a nice pattern on the front of the cover already. But this is just, I want to showcase the whole thing. So by putting something over it, it limits what I can put over here. Unless I put the spine on first, then cover it, and then that can, then you have, I don't know, I don't know. Alrighty, so there's that. So we have constructed the shell of our journal. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And then our tip-in page will come to here, right? And then we'll probably take it to here. Where are we going to put that? And then we will tip it So it'll come to here and then it'll tip right to the edge here. But all this in between space here, the great thing is that if we bulk it, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna hurt anything. We've got plenty of space in this journal to bulk it. I mean, those are just simply pages that are sewn in and stuff. So we've got room to fill it without it going too crazy. Then once I gotta figure out, we may do the tip ends. Oh yeah, gosh, I'm over an hour already. I am sorry guys, by like 5 minutes I'm rambling on. So the next video we'll do the tip ends for those, and then I'll show you how I do that. I've done them before, but I'll show you guys how to do them again. So until next time guys, thanks for hanging out. Hope you found something interesting in the video, and until next time guys, plenty of hugs, loves, and blessings. Mwah. Bye guys.